And we are back. This is a day of breaking updates, and I now have the charges that have been levied against Wendy Osefo, and will read them to you. All right, hold on. Let's make this a little bigger. Okay. On Thursday, October 9th, 2025, the defendant was indicted by the grand jury for Carroll County on 7 counts of insurance fraud, 8 counts of conspiracy insurance fraud, and 1 count of false statement to a police officer. An arrest warrant was issued, and bail was set at $50,000. The allegations are in this case, excuse me, that on April 7th, 2024, Carroll County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to their home in Finksburg in Carroll County, Maryland, for a call of a reported burglary. A deputy was met by the homeowners, Edward and Wendy Osefo, who reported to him that they had left to go on a trip to Jamaica on April 2nd. And then when they returned April 7th at 10 p.m., they found their bedroom and both closets to be ransacked, and several designer handbags and jewelry had been stolen. The state's evidence would show the purported point of entry into the home to be above the owner's bathroom window on the second floor. The window looks onto a small roof that was 9 feet above the deck. There were no ladders, and the deck furniture was undisturbed, and there was no indication anyone had been on the deck. The Osefos stated that they did not touch anything prior to police arrival. There was a screen with damage laying on the roof, and the window was not locked. To go in or out that window, one has to step on the toilet. The toilet lid was down and had no debris on it. The sheriff's personnel stepped onto the roof and back into the home, and they tracked roof grit back inside. The Osefos had an ADT system and a ring camera. The Osefos activated the ADT alarm system upon leaving for vacation. During the time they were away, there was no motion detected in the residence. There was activity such as package deliveries on the ring camera that was monitored remotely by the Osefos. The investigation determined on April 8th, the Osefos initiated 3 separate insurance claims for the burglary and theft: traveler's insurance, jeweler's mutual insurance, and homesite insurance for the alleged losses suffered while they were away. Eddie gave recorded statements of the 2 insurance companies regarding a list of stolen items he provided. He asked whether any of the items on the list had been returned, which he denied. He was asked if he had any other insurance, but failed to disclose to Homesite and Jewelers that he was also making a claim with Travelers Insurance. Oh my God. Let me go on. For Homesite, both Eddie and Wendy signed a sworn statement of loss, which was notarized. The total amount of loss claimed on the sworn statement was $2,500 for the building and $450,000 estimated for contents and personal property. Wait a minute, let me read that again. I'm like, are my eye? I really got to check my eye. They say they gave a sworn statement of loss, $2,500 for the building and $450,000 estimated for contents and personal property. They said $500,000. $500,000. $500,000. That's what you said that was stolen for a half. Oh God. Oh, he included an inventory of reported stolen items along with receipts for the purchase of most of the items on the inventory. The claim was denied due to failure to disclose the policy with Travelers Insurance. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I cannot believe I am reading these words. I cannot believe I am reading these words. Oh, gee. Oh, oh my. Y'all really tried it with insurance companies? You really thought you was gonna double claim and they nobody was gonna check? Did you really think that, Wendy? Did you really think that you could just go off putting claims into the night and nobody would catch up? Girl, let me continue. In the original claim submitted on April 8th to travelers, Edward confirmed that he and his wife were wearing their anniversary bands when the loss occurred. However, Edward called travelers on the 10th and said he needed to update their claim, stating his wife's gold diamond anniversary band was missing. That same day, travelers settled the claim for 25,000, which included replacement of the band 4,500. After the Oh my God. Y'all are what like we'll get to it because my mind is going. I'm reading this for the first time. Okay. After the initial claim on the 11th, both Wendy and Edward signed and submitted letters to Jewelers Mutual claiming the burglary occurred and the items were reported stolen. As at the request of Jewelers Mutual, the Osefos provided an initial list of 57 stolen items. Included on the list was Wendy's gold diamond anniversary band that was reported in the traveler's insurance claim. On April 22nd, 2024, Edward was interviewed during a recorded call and did not make any mention of the jewelry claim or payout with travelers. Deputies were suspicious of the circumstances of the burglary and records from stores where some of the items were purchased, along with social media and email accounts. Investigations determined that numerous items that the Osefos claims were stolen had been purchased and then returned to the store, where a full refund was provided prior to the alleged burglary. These items were valued in excess of $20,000. For example, there was a Dior shirt that was listed as stolen at 1450, but the shirt was returned in January 2023 for a full refund. A Gucci leather wallet that was purchased in 2018 and returned 2 weeks later for a full refund. Additionally, while reviewing the social media for Wendy Osefo, deputies observed photos of Wendy prior to the burglary wearing a diamond anniversary band on her left finger. This ring was reported stolen in the burglary. Then, after the reported burglary on April 27th, 2024, Wendy was wearing the same ring on her left finger. The ring features multiple rolls of diamonds and has a V shape on the side that separates where the rows of diamonds begin. That ring had been photographed prior to the burglary for an appraisal and matches the photo of the ring on April 27th. Deputies obtained email records from the Osefos, and on April 12th, Edward emailed the list of reportedly stolen items to Wendy, and the email asked if there were additional high volume items that we can add to the inventory listing, i.e., Chanel shoes. I'm trying to get the totals to exceed 423,000, which is our policy maximum. At the time of arrest, a search and seizure warrant was executed for the Osefos' home, and deputies found at least 15 items that appeared to be the same ones stolen during the alleged burglary. The investigation revealed the Osefos to be burdened by substantial debt. Wendy and Edward conspired to make fraudulent statements and provided misleading information in support of making the three insurance claims for financial gain. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. So they might be doing some time for this. We thought, okay, maybe y'all just, added a few too many things onto a legitimate burglary claim. No, this was a scheme that Todd set up. And I mean, I wonder how much of their debt is student loans, but what is the other debt that they have? Because they said they have significant debt. This is, wait, is this federal? This is, no, this is state. This is state. The state there versus the state of Maryland right now. Oh my God, Cosmicals, you just made me think this puts her degrees in question now. Because if you steal, you'll cheat. They are in substantial debt. And so they caught them, and that's where the conspiracy comes in. They caught them on the email saying, what else can we add to get our policy max? They gave a paper trail and then tried to do a double insurance. If they had just tried to soak one, that would have been fine. So this is why she was acting so damn rich. This is why we got the Happy Eddie money. No, you don't. No, the fuck you don't. You ain't got happy shit. Oh my God. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. You went on this trip. One could argue to say our house got broken into. I mean, for 4 degrees, you don't know how to stage a crime. You live too close to Baltimore to not have hired somebody to actually break in your house. You got a fucking security system. You couldn't be like, oh, we forgot to turn it on. You had the shit on. They were like, ain't nobody go in there. Then no dirt on the toilet seat. I mean, this is a beginner doing fraud, and it's so bad. It is so bad. We can tell you have never committed any type of crime in your life. And the thing is, you're on the Housewives. You should have called Jen Shaw. You should have called Jen Shaw. Maryland is strict. Wait, didn't he just practice law? He may not be practicing anymore. This is serious. This is fraud. This is why there's so many felonies with an S, because they tried to get $500,000. That's not a small amount. Like, I can see if you say, you know what, I'm gonna go on and put another Birkin on here. But I was just watching the Brooke Ashley, and she had a point. Like, we all love our designer pieces, but I'm not going to risk my freedom over no damn Birkin. No, I ain't. No, I ain't. Their racist Carroll County is going to throw the book at them. I know I don't want to play in court. What were the chances that they get hit with federal wire fraud? 0. And I will tell you why. This isn't a wire fraud charge because they have not moved money to commit a crime. They got paid to commit a crime, but that's lying to the insurance company. That's not wire fraud. When the insurance company sent them money, no crime by the insurance company was committed. Wire fraud is like, it could be cash apping your weed man $50. That could be wire fraud. So is it 33 counts or 7? It is 7 felonies and 16 charges. Nene said you don't win when you play dirty. $500,000? $500,000. Hold on, let me see if I can get Chris on the line. I almost want to wait. I know I want to wait to give y'all Chris tomorrow. They did not. The claim, the claim for the $450,000 was denied. Let's see. That claim was denied due to failure to disclose the policy with Travelers Insurance. So they thought, that's the thing. It's like you can't insure something twice. If you're going to get insurance like on your car, you can't have Progressive and Allstate and then get in an accident and get paid by the both of them. They're going to call each other. That's the first thing they're going to do. You got insurance with anybody else? Okay. All right. Let me check. No. Because they're insurance companies. They're going to protect their own. So that was denied. I mean, it might have been worse for them if they had gotten it, because then they would have spent it. Ooh, like Sutton Strack, they spent it. Girl, I know times are tough. I know times are hard. We all could use an extra $450,000. But insurance fraud while black and on television? 4 degrees, but no sense. 4 degrees, but you ain't got the sense God gave a lemon. So the Brooke Ashley said that she doesn't think Wendy is going to be at BravoCon. Now with this information, I don't know. I don't know, because you tried to scam an insurance company out of $500,000. Does this end Housewives for her? Because this is so interesting. We have another crime. Like, we don't want Jen Shaw back because you stole from old people, and that's really fucking sucky. Like, that's just like, you don't go after people that are having enough problems as it is, trying to take old people money. They can't go out and work and rebuild. You're stealing from vulnerable. That's disgusting. Now, insurance companies are not vulnerable. I will never get on here and be like, we've got to protect the insurance. There's a level of, if you are going to steal from them. Steal from them. I'm like, that to me just is reparations. You're just getting them early. But you can't get caught doing that shit. And this is just, I mean, these charges read like amateur goddamn hour. Don't you watch any true fucking crime? Jesus. This is why I love watching and listening to true crime. There's this guy, I think his name is Matt Fox or Matt Cox. He does like interviews with people that have gone to jail. Like, he was a fraudster. And these stories are so interesting. But the thing is, these are like the slickest people. These are the people that like, and then they get out and they use their skills for good. Wendy, you're not slick. That's why I don't do shit. I'm like, I'm too much of a square. I will get caught. You are not slick. They're in debt, but she wants a 19-foot marble fireplace. She thought she was getting $450,000 tax free, because you don't have to claim insurance money on your taxes. Tax free. How much debt? Okay, now here's something else I want to know. Okay, we're not going to. How much debt could you possibly be in? We've seen like your clothes have stepped up. Your clothes have stepped up. But I didn't see $500,000. I've only seen, like, you're on your fifth season. You should be making enough to maintain your lifestyle, and you have all these other jobs. Is Eddie not working? Did y'all put maybe they put too much into Happy Eddie, but why not just file bankruptcy? File bank. I'd file bankruptcy because now you're gonna have to spend all this money on lawyers. You're gonna lose money, sponsorships, and opportunities, and you're gonna have to file bankruptcy anyway. You done fucked up your children's lives. Oh my God. For this is just stupid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is dumb. Surgery debt. I'm sorry. Everybody else can get I know regular women that with regular money, like not TV people, that get mommy makeovers. You had John Hopkins checks. You had the show checks. You had well, I don't think them candles did anything. But you have you always get bookings for being a housewife. I mean, you're not the most popular, but bankruptcy is embarrassing to Wendy. You know what's more embarrassing? You know what's more embarrassing? Prison. Prison. Ain't no way in oh my God. Y'all should have tried to learn blackjack. Y'all should have tried to learn blackjack. She tried to soak an insurance company, and so did he for $500,000. They really like, my God, I've never had a thought that dumb. I've never had a thought that dumb. Ever. Oh my God. Wow. 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 Wow, 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 wow. I just could not imagine trying to get $450,000 out of an insurance company knowing I'm playing in their face. And I mean, if I'm going to try to pull that type of stunt, I am putting some Ocean's 11 money into it. Like, I'm hiring a burglar. Hell, I'm sneaking back in the country to do the shit myself. Oh my God. In debt news. Now, I mean, you want to talk about embarrass? One, you look like an onion in that wig. We got to start there with that onion wig, with that harsh seam. That is another felony. But you tried to get $500,000 out of it. And here's the thing, like, if you're gonna do crime, you got to do something small first, babe. Get your feet wet. Y'all jumped into the Ocean's 11 deep end. Did you think you were white? Did you think you were white? Did you? I mean, that is white man audacity right there. That is a stunt I would see some pink toes pulling. These are the white crimes you don't hear about, but they get caught. I'm sorry, I don't even think they'd hand a check to a pink toe like that. It was so easy to, I mean, the way the police report read, the way it said the toilet seat was down, there was no roof grit. Wendy looked uncomfortable during the marble fireplace scene. I bet she's looking more uncomfortable in prison. Damn. I mean, Karen kept your seat warm. Karen kept your seat warm for you. Ooh. I hope Happy Eddie don't drop the soap because this, you tried to get, I don't know if this is going to go away. What's the salary for Potomac? I don't know what she's making, but they're apparently deep in debt. That Bravo check spent. And I don't know if there's going to be another one. This is bad. I mean, it's not stealing from children bad or old people bad, but this is egregious. I see why they charged you with felonies. I see why they're like, yeah, we're not going to let that slide. I'm sure travelers called them people so fast. Oh, yeah, we got some easy work for you. We got some easy work. Well, they tried to get $450,000 out of us. And I'm sorry, you look at Wendy and you look at that house. There is not $450,000 worth of nothing in that house. That's like a bunch of Birkins. That 400, like, if y'all had said, maybe 40 or 50,000, you might have gotten away with it. You might have gotten away with that. You tried to get a house. 450, that's a house. That's a house. That ain't even a down payment. Like, you pretty much done with that joker. Hey, Jade. Those degrees ain't gonna get her no work now. You have 4 degrees and you still couldn't figure out trying to steal $500,000 from an insurance company. You are a Nigerian scammer and a bad one. Oh my God, and a bad one. Your mother should be embarrassed. My heart weeps for your mother. To raise a child, to love and to nurture, for her to go and get 4 degrees but have no sense. I have to go weep in the bushes. I have to weep. I have to weep. Girl. Yeah, this is beyond a lapse. This is a lapse in judgment. My grandfather had a phrase. I miss him. He said, sometimes people have sudden bursts of stupidity. And he's right. He's like, you're never too old to have a sudden burst of stupidity. You got to watch out for those sudden bursts. And it happens. He's absolutely right. None of us, but I ain't never been this stupid. This is beyond stupid. Like, ooh, God, half of times. I can't believe this. This has got to be AI. Am I awake? This has got to be $423,000. Y'all aren't bright. Oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all should have tried to commit arson. Y'all should have tried to just burn the joker down. That might have been smart. I mean, if you're going to go for the gusto. This is PPP stupid. She became flashy all of a sudden. She lived in damn near Pennsylvania. I live in Pennsylvania. I think it's quite nice. Oh, but no, I get what you mean. Every year now they're discussing lawsuits or arrests at the reunion. Not ours. Here's the thing. You might have gotten away with that. You could have used your degrees to figure out how to start a fire naturally. You could have just bought a crystal ball and left it. I've heard that if you leave a crystal ball in the window, it turns into a magnifying glass and can start a fire. I've heard. My house has never burned down. But knowledge is power. I mean, y'all, to stage the fact, I don't know what's worse, the egregious amount of money or the fact that the attempt was so piss poor. I mean, piss poor. I mean, you didn't even try. This is giving I wanted to get caught. This is giving I wanted to get caught. Her fifth degree should have been a chemist. A lot of the dumbest people I've ever met have plenty of degrees. Did Wendy ever write a book? She can write one about fraud. $450,000. Okay, we're going to open up the line again. It's just that kind of day. We expected better fraud from them. I expected something high level intel, not something that I would have been like, well, babe, this don't look right to me. And then we had to, now, oh, wait, now hold on. Now, out in California, with Dorit, her house got broken into. However, where she lives, that area, they always be getting broken into. So I could see, and especially with their whiteness, the insurance company just handing them the check. But they probably didn't try to get $450,000. This is Fulton County fraud. Those girls are going to dance on her grave. Oh my God. I mean, Wendy, your character has officially shit the bed. Your character has shit the bed. I don't know if there's a point in you going to the reunion at this juncture. I don't. Remember when she reported the burglary and she said she has that kind of stuff with all that student debt? Oh, Miss Simmons, how are you?
Hey, love, how you doing? I don't know if you can hear me because I can't hear you.
Oh, I can hear you wonderfully.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Okay, there we go. Are you shocked?
I just have to say, I want Ashley Darby to get her lick back and just say, oh, people like me call people like you felons. I don't like felons. In the immortal words of Alexander Rogers, I don't like felons.
I mean, depends on why you got the felony, but yeah, that's not somebody that you want to hire.
There's a delay. Alex, I'm gonna hang up and call back and see if I
Okay.
can get my audio together.
Okay.
Okay.
Wendy probably messing with the audio. I mean, this is a horrible mistake. And now everybody knows it. I don't know who the hell calling me now. Wow. I am embarrassed for them. He's a lawyer. He couldn't use his brains to know this would not end well. Exactly. Exactly. You cannot think this was going to end well. $500,000. $500,000. I'd be afraid to call insurance in on my damn iPad. $500,000.
See, I want to know where this debt came from because she's got 4 degrees, and I think that's been the scam all along. I have in-laws. I have a sibling and some in-laws that live in the DMV. My brother-in-law is an anesthesiologist, and he went to school at Johns Hopkins. He grew up in the DMV. And when I visited him a couple of years ago, he said that there is a thing in that area where people go and get degrees in radiology, respiratory therapy, and go to JH and get all these degrees. There's plagiarism. They're overstating their experience. Like it is huge. And he drives around the DMV, like Northern Virginia medical system, PG County, and DC. And the number of people who get kicked out, either in psychotherapy, because I think she got her PhD in psychology or some shit, right? the number of people who end up losing their licenses because they falsified their theses and other stuff to get these advanced degrees. I wonder if that's been the hustle all along. Not to insult Wendy's intelligence. She's clearly book smart, but not street smart. But I just
I'm
wonder if
questioning the
getting
book
all of these
smart assessment.
degrees and maxing out these loans have been the hustle all along, because you get these tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans that you have to pay back. But that's how you've been bankrolling your lifestyle. You've been living on credit the whole time.
I mean, even with how much could the debt be? Because you're on Housewives, you are now making good money where like Teresa was able to pay back her restitution. And
Right.
she paid that back pretty quick. It's like you're work like you've got two good jobs plus Instagram and hosting. Like you're making
Mhm.
hand over fist money. Where even if it's like, ooh, that's $1 million, you could tackle that in a few years. Like you also don't have to pay them student loans back immediately, and you have enough money where you don't need credit.
Right. But see, what wasn't it Monique who said like the first 3 years on the show, you really don't make a whole lot of money, you go into debt. So it wasn't until Wendy's third
Very
season
true.
that we saw the upgrade. So I think this is her fifth season now. Yeah,
Mhm.
by her fifth or sixth season, she should be okay. Like she should be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for an annual salary for what, 4 months worth of work?
For 4 months worth of work, and then also like speaking engagements, Instagram ads. Like, let me see how many followers this heifer has. She could be doing a damn podcast. Like, you are a housewife. You can trade on the Bravo name.
And it makes me think about something, Alex, because she started this YouTube channel where she was going to have her talk show. I wonder if the state of Maryland's investigators clocked some shit on that YouTube page of hers, and that's why she stopped doing it. Because she's never really been consistent in all of these business ventures she started.
Yeah, I look. She has 756,000 followers. You can make decent money just off Instagram posting.
Yeah, she should have sponsorships and product placement and all of that by now.
God, she was just in New York at the Nigeria Independence Day. Oh God, and she's going to be on White Swap. She's got a spinoff coming up. So you also got that wife swap check, and that was cute.
Yikes.
From professor to prisoner.
Mm.
Oh my God.
We hate to
From
see it. But I'm gonna tell you
mm,
something. If we go back to Wendy's first season, the big scandal was Karen called it like she saw it. And she said that Wendy is not all that she's cracked up to be. And she had a reputation in, circles for siphoning off contacts with those nonprofits. And, basically took a Rolodex of people for whatever her personal interests were, and people thought that Karen was a hater. I wonder how long Karen has been sitting on information that, this girl is not all that she's cracked up to be.
and I wonder what that information is.
Yeah, because Karen wouldn't go there, but for all of her flaws, Karen wasn't lying about a whole lot of shit, and we know Karen lies. But that one, it's so interesting to see a whole lot of flawed characters on this show be vindicated when the stuff comes out in the wash.
Oh, Rob Dixon.
Embezzled.
Rob Dixon. Oh my God. What is she? Her, I hate to say it. I'm looking forward to Reasonably Shady this week.
And she is the perfect person who, I mean, as broken she as she and her husband are, fake husband, I guess. Even they didn't do no shit like this.
This has turned the season on its head.
I mean, and isn't it horrible that she's made room for NECA? And even though I didn't dislike NECA, NECA and Rob and Monique to get her spot?
She has made that room. She has made room for them to get her spot. She made a lot of room, prison room, because
Oh, yes.
you tried to get $500,000. I don't know if they're going to give you a slap on the wrist. I don't. This is several felonies. Like, we thought it was smaller at first.
These are state charges. So, and I don't know if I wish somebody from the DMV could hop on the line, but I know Marilyn Mosby got caught up on federal charges, but I would imagine that the state courts for Maryland don't play either. She's
Nope.
got 9 misdemeanors and 7 felonies. I would just say off the top, they're going to give her a minimum of 5 years just on GP.
Of her life?
Of her whole life. I would say, or they would do a situation where you you do 5, maybe you do 5, and then you and Eddie can switch because we need somebody to raise the kids. Like, ain't nobody thought about those babies. Who's gonna get custody of these kids?
Oh, hello, Bryson.
Hey, how are y'all? I'm jumping in. So my question is, where did all of these ventures, business ventures, where did all of the money go? Because that area of Maryland is not expensive, even for the average person. She had candles. When or Eddie had, his whole line of stuff. She was a professor at Johns Hopkins, then got, you know, I don't know the track she was on. I don't think it was tenure track, but she got an offer at Wesleyan. So she was at these high profile universities. So they had 3 streams of income, not including the show. So where do you think the money went to?
That is, my guess is like Miss Simmons said, um, there was a lot of debt before you got on the show. Y'all were living above your means, check to check,
Mhm,
deep in debt before you got on. Then you
mhm.
get on, you've got to, like, that first season, you really do have to spend money to be on the show, and probably the second as well. And I think those 2 years, and then her not being a fan favorite, because when you're the favorite, you get so many more opportunities. They just start throwing money at you. Like, they started throwing money at Nene. She had those 2 wonky seasons. And so she never got those opportunities. And so I guess around season 3, because this was last year, that was her 4th season when they pulled this, her Bravo check still wasn't covering her being on the show. Does Eddie work?
Here's the
I
other
thought he
thing,
was a
Alex. I just
practicing
forgot.
lawyer.
She left JH. She left JH at the start of the 3rd season, which would kick off her needing to do this insurance scam.
But
The
she went
rumor
to
was is
Wesleyan right
that
after that.
the rumor was that she went on ahead and resigned, because she wants to pursue something else. But her being on the show wasn't a good look among faculty and staff at JH.
Mm,
So she just went on ahead and walked away before they could invite her to no longer work there.
So can I ask a
mm.
question to you, Alex? So I know you were a paralegal. What's going to happen to that trust fund?
Well, let's see. Well, I don't think there is one. The fact that at the end of that document, they say, and quote, the investigation revealed the Osefos to be burdened by substantial debt. There ain't no trust fund. There ain't no trust fund. If you're trying to steal $500,000, ain't nobody got a trust fund.
Would they
Those
have snuck the money into a trust in their kids' names because they're minors, so the law can't get to it?
one no one anything that comes from criminal, even if you try to put it in a trust, it can be disengorged.
Okay.
That means they will go and get that money back because they can easily trace to where it came from. I don't think that them kids had a trust fund to begin with. I think, like you said, it's always been debt. Like, and I was gonna say, it's like they were, out of college and not the best job market, trying to make it like everybody the hell else. We get it. You went on the show to level up, but
Right.
I guess it ain't work. Or you don't have a good social media manager, because you should be pulling in 100,000 a year just from your Instagram.
Hmm.
When do you think we're gonna get Bravo Con for cons? You know, all the ex-convicts.
I will say, here's what's going to happen. Somebody will do it, but it won't be Bravo, and it'll be like the Real Housewives of Prison.
The restitution tour.
Yes, the Real Housewives of Restitution. Now, here's the thing. Fortunately, they didn't, if they had gotten the money, then they'd have to worry about giving the money back that they've already spent. They never got the money because they didn't tell them, oh, we have another insurance.
Wow.
Were her and Eddie scammers before the show? That is the horrible question that we now are faced with. Here's the thing. I'm going to say no. The fact that they were so amateurish, the fact that they were so bad at staging this fraudulent. I mean, if you're going to give me fraud, make it theater. I want research to go into it. There is too much true crime that we have access to where you can figure out, okay, well, that's where they got caught. That's where they got caught. Here's how I won't. Y'all couldn't have gotten a cousin to pretend to break into the house, make it look real.
They
Y'all
should have
gave us,
hired the Osendario brothers.
it's giving Sissy Yehu. This
It
is a
is.
Jussie move. A Jussie move.
Yes.
But this is going to make, do you think she's going to make it to the reunion?
No, I think she's going to pull a Karen on that and not show up. Or she'll sit up there and give her best Phaedra Parks impression and be just as high as a kite and stone faced and say, due to the nature of my case, I can't discuss it.
Well, we can and we will. I feel like you may as well just leave the show. Just go on, just tuck your tail in between your legs because you got bigger fish to fry. You're not coming back. I don't think you're coming back. And also now, one of them heifers didn't like you anyway, but
Mhm.
they would be like, I can't trust you because you tried to steal $500,000. And the thing is, I don't know if I want to be around somebody that egregious either. And then
Right.
also piss poor with it.
Yeah, it's not a Karen Huger or the chick from New York where they had personal problems, where they have a redemption arc. I'm working on my traumas. I'm admitting that I have an alcohol problem. I'm going to AA. You can see them going to their meetings. I'm trying to stay sober. That's a personal problem.
Yeah, and that's
This
and
is this
also medical.
right, right.
Greed ain't medical. Like, you did all this to flex on a television show
Yeah.
at 40 something. That is,
How old is she? 40, 41?
she's 42. She my age.
Oh, okay.
I'm not trying to like, these are our prime golden years. I'm
Mhm.
not trying to throw them away in prison.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think Eddie's mom was right about Wendy?
Probably.
Was Eddie's mom right about Eddie? Because they both did this.
True.
Because ain't no way, and this is why you got to be careful who the fuck you marry. There is no way I would ever, one, talk my spouse into something where we could be separated or get him in trouble. My whole goal as your husband is to keep you from that shit. I don't know. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter if one of them had a stupid idea. The other one's supposed to talk you out of that. That's another point of being married. When one of you has a sudden burst of stupidity, you've got somebody there to be like, no, it's okay. It's a sudden burst. We all have them. But that was
Who do you
I
think was
mean,
the brainchild, Alex? Was it Wendy or Eddie with his law
it
degree?
was Jesse. This is Jesse's brainchild and nothing but. They called Jesse and said, I mean, maybe they want the scandal to get caught and be the Nigerian scammers when they get out of prison. Oh God. I just I can't like this is like I'm gonna read this document again so that we can all hear because I can't.
Is it makes me wonder why, because Peter's in jail. They were doing business with Peter. Was it last season or the season before that?
Yep, 2 seasons ago.
So it now makes you wonder why were they such close friends?
Right.
Birds of a feather scammed together. Apollo and Todd. Well, Apollo's out now, or for now. Um, we don't know. He seems to like it in there. He might want to go back sick between some knees. Yeah, but I just $450,000. You thought you were going to get away with that? This piss poor stage burglary. Y'all just should have filed for bankruptcy. It could have been your plot line, but this will now be your plot line until prison.
Yeah, it
Until
would have
prison.
been honest because you could have said, "Oh, Eddie and I stepped away from JH. We have multiple businesses and they failed." No, nobody would have been mad at that, but that ego wouldn't let her have a Rob Dixon situation.
And you know what's weird about it? So I stepped into my investigative journalism. That house that they had is only worth last sold for 784. So over the last few years being on the show, they should have been able to pay that off.
Right. Like you can if you were able to get into a house, you clearly had some type of credit. So where did the money go? Cuz I saw your outfits on the show were cute, but you wasn't rocking VVS stones like that.
Yikes.
This is this is the most shocking moment I have seen in Housewives. You could knock me over with a feather. I never would have believed that Wendy would be this stupid because this is just grade A prime whip sink your teeth into it stupid.
Honestly, I want to take bets on who's gonna go to prison next. Because out of all the people, I would have thought it would have been Rob or Mia, maybe even Giselle. I don't know.
Or Jamal for messing up the church's money.
Of
Yep.
course not. Wow. Well, it is going to be a northeaster here this weekend, so I am going to get to the market before the kids get out of school, people get off work, and it starts raining. But I'll be doing a whole bunch of Halloween themed stuff this weekend, and I want to thank you both for joining me for this dynamic conversation, which will continue as more things come out. But I'm just going to be grateful that you know what, I've made some poor choices, but I ain't never done that.
I
I
know
ain't
that's
never
right.
done that.
All right.
Ooh.
Be safe, Alex.
All
All right,
right. I
peace,
will
Alex.
see y'all. Have a great Friday.